ডিয়ার ভিউয়ার্স, স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি কুকারি থিয়েটারে। আজকের অতিথি সেলিব্রিটি শেফ নাইজেল ব্রাউন। আসুন দেখি উনি আজ কি করে দেখাচ্ছেন আমাদের।
We're going to cook you today. I'm going to show you basically how to cook the perfect steak. Okay, so there's all this kind of, do you want it rare, medium rare, well done and crucified and all that kind of thing. So we've got to get it just right for everyone really. So it's a bit of a tricky situation if you don't know how to cook a steak. So we're going to do a couple of recipes. I'm going to do you a pan-fried steak with a little bit of truffle oil. Do you like truffle oil? Okay. Do you like quail's eggs? Maybe. Okay, nice little quail's eggs here. And we're going to serve that with a few nice little tomatoes as well, all kind of nicely kind of blistered in the pan. So a nice little steak for that one there. And then I'm also going to do, who likes stir fries and kind of spicy foods as well? So we're going to do that one as well. So we're going to do, with the fillet steak I've got, we're going to do like a stir-fried ginger beef, I suppose you might say. So we've got ginger, we've got garlic, coriander, we've got chili seeds here, we've got some balsamics and all sorts of coriander and so on too. So a nice quick little recipe, but again it's all about how to cook the steak, because that's the thing, that you go and buy a steak and you don't want to ruin it because it's cost a lot of money to start off with. So first of all, reasonably priced, very good quality too, Halud is there, but yeah, you want to make sure it's right. So first of all, we're going to we'll do our steak and eggs first of all. So we're going to deal with our quail's eggs first of all. So again, for a tiny little quail leg, we don't need a great big pan, okay? So what we're going to do is, we'll take our quail's eggs there. I've got myself a tray. Can we all see all right? Yeah, good. Take a tray, and onto that tray, just a little drizzle of oil, vegetable oil, any kind of oil you prefer to use. Just onto the tray we go like this, okay? Now the eggs, they're very tiny little eggs, so you wouldn't try cracking this like a hen's egg on the side of a little dish or something, because it would just disintegrate. So the best way to deal with a little egg like this is to get it out of the shell with just the point of a knife, and all we do is, if we can see this at all, we just pierce the top of the egg like this, and we just slowly peel away the shell. It's very delicate, as you can see, and just at the point where it's about to drip, we go onto our tray like that there. Can you all see that? Everyone see? Yeah. I'll do another one again. So the tip of the egg, we just pierce and peel the shell away like this. There we are. And then as it starts to drip, as I said, onto your tray there. And just because it's Sunday, I'll do one for look as well. Okay, so, and it does look nice with three as well on the plate too. So the final one just to go. Now we're not going to fry these in a pan like I said. We're going to bake these in the oven. So literally, onto the tray like so. Come on, out you come. There we are. Always important to work clean and tidy in the kitchen too. So at that point now, it's a cold tray, cold oil, warm oven. They're going to go into the oven about 180 degrees, very carefully. Right, who's got a timer? Who can give me 2 minutes on the clock and shout eggs? Okay, have you got a clock or a watch? Someone just shout in 2 minutes, or 1 minute 47 now. Just shout eggs, all right? Because we don't want to get them overdone. So when the eggs come out, they can just sit to one side. Right, okay, so other things to do now. So we've got to talk about our steak. So you buy your steak in a fantastic packaging like this, okay? So has anyone bought Haludis yet? You can get it through Tesco's, you know, okay? So check out Tesco's online, put your postcode in there, and you'll be able to find out if you can get it delivered to your door as well as popping into your local store too. So fabulous range. We also do a nice a cooked chicken range too, so ready to eat. We've got piri-piri sticks, we've got char grill, we've got all sorts of southern fries. So we've got, right, so what I do is when it comes to a steak, if you like your steak kind of medium rare to medium, you want it so it's nice and tender and succulent, but you don't want obviously blood all on the plate, do we? We've got to get rid of all that, but have a real nice tasty steak. Because if you overcook your steak, it's like shoe leather. Now we don't have a shoe leather fillet steak, do we? So what I tend to do is I take my steak from here, out of the packet, okay? And I get myself, I've got one here just at the moment. We've all got these at home in the kitchen, haven't we, under the kitchen sink. You get a brand new clean kitchen cloth like that. And I've got one here I did already. And what we do is, we wrap it in that bit of kitchen cloth, like so. Okay, and then you wrap that steak and kitchen cloth into some greaseproof paper as well. And then you pop that in your fridge for another 2 or 3 days. Obviously go by the dates on the packaging there, so keep an eye on the dates there. And you put that into your fridge for another 2 or 3 or 4, or maybe 5 days if you've got a good long date on the packet there. And what happens is all the juice and moisture from the steak gets absorbed into here. Can we all see that? Okay. So that's what will be all running round on your plate when you've cooked it kind of medium rare. So you want to get rid of that so you're not actually cooking it, don't you? Am I talking sense? Okay, you're all going to give it a try now. Oh, eggs, well done, eggs. Let's have a look and see. Okay, so the eggs, they've merged together a little bit because it's all gone to one side, but I need about another minute, okay? All depends on the oven, you see, too. So yeah, once we got our steak to this point, it's then ready to actually start to think about cooking. So let's go medium rare today, and I think those that like a medium to well, you might be convinced to try it after seeing the way I do it, okay? Could you be tempted? Maybe. Okay, right, so we'll get our cooked chicken out of the way, so we don't need that right now. So as far as cooking the steak, what we do is, how long for the eggs? About 30 seconds? Tell you what, let's get them now, shall we? Because we're going to get busy in a second. Okay, so look at that, beautiful. So they're nice and runny still, as we can see on the camera there. You'll see this at some point on some footage, no doubt online. Okay, so we'll pop the eggs. Can we all see there? Still runny. Oh, we got a question, have we? No, you just wanted an egg. Nice try. Okay, right, so yeah, as far as cooking our steak to go with the steak and eggs, we're going to take ourselves a nice thick bottom griddle pan, okay? That's going to go onto the heat, and we're going to turn it on. Number 9, really hot. Okay, so that's on and sorted. I always cook a steak with a lid because it keeps all the heat contained. Otherwise, you're just cooking the bottom surface and the sides and the top are just remaining cold, aren't they? So when you flip it over, the top and the sides have actually got some heat in it to then continue cooking, and the side you've just cooked is going to carry on keeping warm. Makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, so you always need a lid when you're cooking a steak. Right, okay, so then we think about our steak, which we have here, and what we're going to do is, in fact, I'll tell you what, I'll use the fillet for the nice stir fry, because that's really nice for that, and we use our sirloin for the how to cook a steak. So we'll take a red board, there we are. Now these ones, straight from the packet, so I've not actually done the preparation like I said with these ones. So from here, we'll take our steak. Always important to season our steak now, remember, so straight onto the board, and then we'll season a little bit of pepper, and a little bit of salt, but always just season towards the point you're about to cook it, otherwise the salt really dries out all the actual meat too much, so just season at the very last minute really, okay. And then just make sure it all just kind of gets all that seasoning off the board, like this, and from there, we're about ready to just wait for the pan to heat up now. Okay, so remember the eggs are just sitting there, just keeping warm, and we'll be able to deal with them shortly. Tomatoes, these are going to be kind of pan-seared in the pan as well, so we're just going to take a few of these, off here, and these are going to go into the pan, really about halfway through the cooking process, so they get cooked, but they stay whole and complete at the same time. So we're going to go with them ones there, I think, okay. Right, so our pan should be getting really nice and hot now. We'll just shift this out of the way. There we go. Yeah, I can feel the lid getting warm, so that's a good start. Right, so, service plate at the ready. Let's go with that one there. Oh, the eggs. Right, so these ones, as you can see, they've all just slid down a little bit to one side. But what you can do is, you want to make it a bit fancy and a bit jazzy, you get your little pastry cutters, okay? And if you can, they've slid together a little bit there. We can then cut out our eggs. So we've got a nice little round egg, you see now, or as near as we can get to go with it, okay? So we've got a little round egg. Right, so the pan, just a really dry, hot pan at the moment, no oil in there. Now, because we're going to do this with a little bit of truffle oil, we're going to just put that in there now. So, the question is, do you put the oil in the pan, or do you oil the steak? Who would put the oil in the pan normally? Okay, who would normally oil the steak? Right, oil in the steak is much better. Put the oil in the pan. One is you're going to use too much, and it's not cheap, all right? And two is you're eating the steak, not the pan, all right? So, just a little drizzle onto there. This is nice truffle oil, so black summer truffle oil. And then both sides, remember the pan is lovely and hot now. Just massage that in so it's nicely coated. So that way, when it goes into the pan, we're not going to have plumes of smoke setting the fire alarm off here or at home. Okay, so number 9. You hear that? Sizzle, sizzle. Straight in. All right, okay. So once that's in, now these are quite a nice thick steak, so if you've not bought a Halloudis sirloin steak before, be worn so they are seriously thick, all right? So you could even, if you wanted to, slice them in half again, do a nice steak sandwiches, okay? So once the steak's in there, you might get a little aroma of the truffle oil in there. The lid goes on, okay? So while that's there, we'll start thinking about other things we've got to do. So while we've got our red board ready, we'll take our fillet steak, which we've got beautiful fillet steaks here, as you can see. Now these ones I've done, like I said earlier, I've matured them in the kitchen paper and the greaseproof and so on. Now, I've done it overnight, so I did them yesterday. And at this point, we're going to cut these into nice little thin strips. Okay, so just with a knife there, get a bigger knife actually. There we are. Because when it's fillet steak, you want it to be nice and tender and succulent, don't we? And I don't know if you can catch this, Mr. Cameraman, but just watch how the knife glides through this steak, because it's nice and mature, and obviously a nice sharp knife. Are we ready? Just glides through. Do that again there. Straight through, no effort at all. Okay, so that'll be great for your footage there too. Right, so we'll just carry on slicing this down here. We'll do both steaks because you're all looking a little bit hungry right now. Okay, so slice it down. You can go into little strips as well if you wanted to, but we'll go with this the way it is right now. So there's our fillet steak all prepared. Now again, as you can see, because it's been matured in that kitchen roll and greaseproof, again, we haven't got blood running everywhere, have we? It's just a nice mature steak. And it's actually dry. A lot of steaks you can buy, they're very wet, aren't they? Because they're very fresh. But this, if you mature it like I do, for 2 or 3 days in your fridge, go buy your dates on the packaging, remember? A much nicer dry piece of meat to actually pan fry. Right, okay, so this has been in here. Are you all keeping up? Yeah. This has been in here for about 1.5 minutes, hasn't it? Maybe about 1 minute or just over. So at that point now, we're going to flip these over. And hopefully we'll see this nice caramelisation of the nice griddle lines going on. And at that point there now, we're going to put our little tomatoes in. Okay, so they can go in there too. Like so. Now, sometimes I put a little bit of butter in there as well, but again, it's a bit of a personal preference. You want it fairly healthy, avoid the butter, just a little drizzle of oil. Because I've got the tomatoes in and no butter, I'm going to go with a little extra of the truffle oil as well today, just to help the tomatoes actually blister and cook too. But again, just a few drizzles, as you can see there. Now, also, a nice herb that goes with a steak is this one. What kind of herb is this? Who can put their hands up and shout out the name of the herb? It is thyme. It's time to put the thyme in. There we go. Thank you very much. So yeah, a few little sprigs of thyme now. Just onto that steak there. Because thyme and truffles is an amazing combination. Alright, so a little bit of thyme, a little bit of truffle onto there. Pop our lid back on again. So remember, we're going for medium rare, aren't we? So, how do we know when it's ready? This is the big question, isn't it? So, how do we test and control the temperature and work out if it's ready? Very simply. Put your index finger and your thumb together like that for me. Don't squeeze them, just touch them together, alright? With your spare index finger, press the base of your thumb. Is it nice and soft and juicy? Does it make you want to go, like that, for a rare steak, yeah? Right, put your middle finger and your thumb together now, and press again. A bit firmer. Go back to your index finger, and just compare. It's getting tougher, isn't it? So you've got index finger and thumb together, you've got a rare steak, a flash in the pan, okay? Your middle finger and your thumb together, you've got a medium rare steak. Your ring finger and your thumb, is it getting firmer? Okay, you've got a medium steak. And you go to your little finger and your thumb, call the fire brigade. It's too late, all right? Or open a tin of corned beef. Talking sense? Are you up with me? Good. Right, okay, so our steak, it's had about 1.5 minutes on both sides at the moment, okay? The thyme is really nicely infusing into there. You can see it's lovely coloration going on. And the pan, even though the lid was on there, we haven't got lots of blood and juices running, have we? We've just got a really nice, succulent steak going on there. It's my colleague, Naman. A big cheer for Naman, come on. There we go, he wasn't expecting that. Right, so there's our steak in. Right, so the last thing to finish off there now with that steak is, just take a palette knife. Now our little eggs, remember, they would then go onto the steak here. Now they're still a little bit underdone, remember, so they only had about 2 or 3 minutes in the oven there. This one's actually just cracked, but we'll pop it on anyway. Okay, that one will pop there too. Looks like someone's had a bite out of that one, but honestly they haven't, all right? And then from there, we'll just pop the lid on again, just for a little second. It's still on number 9, so it's been on full heat all the time, okay? Who at home, if they'd have done that right now, would be opening the kitchen windows, the front door, the back door, and going like this, all right? That's because you've got too much oil in the pan, all right? So now, we're going to take it off, leave it just to rest there, lid on or off, whichever your preference is, but we'll leave it on just for the eggs for the moment, okay? And while that's doing that, we're then going to turn to our stir-fry ginger beef, okay? So this one, obviously, we're going to cook in a wok, okay? So, can you all remember the brand, Haludi's? Okay, we're right over there as well, don't forget. So come and have a taste, and obviously you'll get a taste of what I'm doing here too. So, yeah, so we've got this fantastic, beautiful, mature fillet steak ready to go. Now again for this one, we've got some vegetable oil or olive oil. So we're just going to put a little drizzle onto the board with the steak there, just to get this nicely oiled. Again, remember the seasoning there, so a little bit of salt and pepper. And this one we're going to jazz up a little bit now, so we're going to go with some ginger, some garlic, some coriander. We've got all sorts on this tray actually. We've even got some, do you like harissa paste? Harissa powder? Okay, let's go with some harissa powder there too. So it really adds lots of nice flavour. We'll just take the hob off there a second. A nice little bit of harissa paste. Now again, you could do this overnight if you want to do it. You could marinate it to get even more flavour into there. Do you like it really spicy? Let's go a little bit more, shall we? There we go. It'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? Okay, so that's onto there too. Right, okay, we've also got some fresh coriander. Again, a real quick, easy recipe. Just pull off them leaves there. All onto the board like this here. Okay. We've got our ginger, which we've got some here, which we'll just, we'll grate a little bit of ginger. We've got our grater in our pot, we have, yeah. There we are. So our steak, remember, it's just sitting there, just resting, okay? We'll take the lid off now, and then we'll pop that onto the plate in a second. In fact, we'll do it now. We'll just wash our hands. We've been dealing with the raw beef, haven't we, first? Okay, so we'll get our nice cooked sirloin now onto the plate, just over here. There we are. So that should be beautiful. Just kind of medium rare, getting towards medium maybe today, but a really nice looking steak. And again, lovely tomatoes on there too. Now all you need there is a few chips, a little bit more thyme maybe, and a nice mocktail. Does that sound good? There we go. That's your steak and eggs. Big cheer for that one for a start. There you go. Right, okay, Haludi's, remember, that's where you get your steak. Right, so the ginger, we're going to give this a little grating, okay? Like I said, you could do this overnight, and you could leave it to nicely marinate. There we are. Right, okay, there's our ginger, our garlic. Where's our garlic gone? It's here somewhere. There we are, a little bit of garlic. Oh, I've got a top tip for your garlic. So you all buy bulbs of garlic like this, the whole bulbs, okay? And you tend to peel one off at a time, and then you do all this, crush it, peel it, chop it, your hands smell of garlic, your board smells of garlic. It's a bit of a pain kind of peeling all this off as well. Top tip for these, get your whole garlic bulb, wrap the whole thing in tin foil, like a little bowl. The next time your oven's on, when you're doing a nice roast or a casserole or something, pop it in the oven. Your house will smell really nice, okay? But leave it in the oven for about half an hour, 40 minutes, 180 degrees, wrapped in tin foil. Take it out of the oven, stick it on the kitchen side, leave it for an hour or two. And when it's gone cold, take it out of the tin foil, get yourself a clean jam jar, sterilise, wash it out and everything. And then take your garlic bulb and take the top off like a boiled egg, all right? And then squeeze all that garlic puree into your jam jar that's nice and clean. And then you get your oil, you top it up with oil so it's all covered with oil. Pop that in your fridge, you've got your own homemade garlic puree. Every time you need garlic, a spoonful out, and none of this chopping, bashing and all that kind of thing going on. Makes sense, doesn't it, really? But for today, we're going to go with a little bit of chopped garlic. Okay, so chop the garlic down there. There we are. And then we're going to get our hob back on the, what can I call it? Not a hob, a wok. Back on the heat there. So nice. Oh, we're going to wrap it up, I'm told. Okay, it's coming. Right, so yeah, for this one, we're going to go with just the regular oil. Into there we go. And then this will get really hot very quickly now, because again, it's a hob with induction and a very quick and easy cooking wok as well. So once that's hot, we'll get our plate ready. So for this one, I've just got a few salad leaves, just nicely washed here. And I've also got a little bit of balsamic syrup, just to dress it with, just a little bit, something different. So that can all go onto there here. A little bit of balsamic. Over there like that. Balsamic vinegar. Okay, we've got a lime just to squeeze into there as it gets cooked. See that nice hot pan now? We're almost there. Right, okay, and then we'll go with one of these. Give that a swirl around. And literally, straight in. Hear it sizzle, crack and popple. That's all what we want. And it goes. Nice. If you've got a nice gas flame, obviously you're going to get a much more intense heat into there. But just you'll smell the garlic, you smell the ginger, the coriander, a little bit of oil and seasoning in there too. And again, you want to do it kind of medium rare, but again, we're not going to have lots of blood everywhere because we've dealt with all that when we actually matured it in the fridge for a couple or so days after we purchased the steak from Haludi's there. So a little splash more oil maybe. And then literally have a little clear up ready, get all this out of the way. A little bit of lime just to go in there as well, just kind of cuts through that little bit of oil that's gone in. You can even leave the lime in. The lime's actually quite nice in there, just kind of brings another dimension to the whole recipe when it's actually cooked as well. Right, okay, so from there, again we're getting a little bit of caramelisation going on like we said. And literally we're just waiting for that kind of, the outside of the steak to colour, because remember it'll carry on cooking in its own heat. So even when it comes out of the pan, when it goes onto the plate there, it will still be cooking, but we won't get all that kind of blood and so on. We'll just get lovely juice, which is what it all is, okay? A lot of people worry and think, oh, that blood, that red is blood. It's not, it's just juice. Imagine your chicken, when you cook a roast chicken, you get the nice juices. It's just the same thing, but it's beef, okay? Right, so from there, can you smell that, cameraman? You can smell it, it's making him hungry. From there, we're about ready to get this. Oh, I'll have to do it that way for you, so one sec. That onto here, and that with a nice bit of pita bread or something. A nice little bit of yogurt dip or something as well. We've got a cracking little recipe, haven't we? How's that? You can all cheer and clap now, there we go. Right, so, I've taught you how to cook your fillet and your sirloin steak. We'll do a nice little spicy recipe too. Who'd like to have a little taste? Okay.